Hey, you guys, I'm with my cousin Al, and he loves Mustangs, and he fixes Mustangs, he rebuilds Mustangs. I think you do everything in Mustangs, don't you?
Quite a bit of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you want to show us around?
Sure, come on in. This is my shop where I work on them at.
Okay.
We live on an acreage, so my shop is right where I live, so I get to come down evenings and weekends and just play around. Yeah, we specialize in 65 through 70 are the vintage Mustangs that we work on. My personal preference are the fastbacks, so I've enjoyed those since high school, and that's kind of what I would, collect and possess and stuff.
So when did you get your first Mustang?
I was still in high school, so I think I was around 17 years old when I got my first Mustang.
Cool.
And traded an old pickup for a 66 coupe, and that started the process. I went from a 66 coupe to a 67 convertible, and then a 67 fastback and a 65 fastback.
Okay, so what do y'all do?
We do just a little bit of everything. These are client cars that we've been working on. We do everything from the suspension to the body work to the paint, some interior work. These are more what they would call a resto mod.
Okay.
So the suspension's not stock from the Ford factory.
Now, does that lessen its value, or?
It really, in today's market, it doesn't. People enjoy having the looks of the older cars, but the ride of the newer car.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will tend to go this route so they can enjoy driving them and stuff.
I think you were telling me you got a rotisserie too, or?
We do. We have a couple rotisseries that we can put them on. We have a jig that we can put the Mustang body on and replace frame rails, because the Mustang's a unibody car. So we try to bolt it all together.
Yeah, there's some major work here, because I know these things, the shock towers are gone.
Yeah. Yeah, these three cars are primarily the ones that people have done some drastic changes in what Ford had done. The Burgundy car is a 67 fastback. It will have a Coyote Gen 3 motor in it, so it's got the newest, the Coyote motor from Ford, racing performance in it. Most of them I do for myself. I go back concourse or factory correct. When I got this car, it didn't have the original drivetrain, so we kind of stepped out of the box just a little bit with the engine. It's a 302 with a little cam in it and headers and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. What you got back here? I saw a race car.
Yeah, this is our dirty area. This is where we do a lot of the body work, metal fab, and just that kind of stuff, but in process working on them.
Mm-hmm.
The old race car is something I had 22 years ago. I used to race the stock car, and we got rid of it. And just here within about the last year, somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, we found your old race car in a barn." And it was in a barn, and it was full of hay. But the cool thing about it is it's exactly how I quit racing. So all the sponsors are on it that I had. Every dent that's on it is dent that I put on it racing. And so I'm just out of nostalgia. For sentimental value, I went in and retrieved it from the barn.
Well, if somebody hung on to it this long, you must have been a star racer, or?
I don't think so. But we had fun. We had some success. But
yeah, I watched it a couple times. What's this?
This is a 67 fastback, but it's being done in what they call the Eleanor style.
From Gone in 60 Seconds.
From Gone in 60 Seconds. So yeah, it's got the fiberglass kit. This one's actually my brother-in-law and his son, Mike and Kyle. You probably met them earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Good for them. And these here are all customer cars.
Yeah, these are customer cars. We're in the process of doing the repairs that they request to do. Some of them want to go completely suspension, completely down to to bare bones and start over. Some of them don't want them that far, so we kind of try to oblige and do what the customer wants us to do. This one's a 69 Mach 1, so body style would be a lot like your 70 that you had.
Yes, with the 70 had a single headlight,
Yep.
and yeah.
Yep, and the 70 didn't have the scoop on the side of the corner. But yep, this one will be going back to pretty much stock in drivetrain and appearance. Yeah.
Here's a shiny one.
Yeah, this is a client that we have. He brings it to us every summer to continue doing small things. Last summer we redid the interior on it for him.
So you guys do the interior, or is there somebody in town that?
We a lot of the, like, this is a what they call TMI kit. You can purchase the kits and either have them installed, or we do some installation ourselves on those. I don't actually sew the covers and stuff here.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. That's nice. Okay, this is your shop.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, I've collected a few cars over the years, and I keep them in another building in here on our acreage.
Okay.
I'll show them to you.
What a pretty view. Isn't that pretty?
Well, the first one that jumps out at us is the yellow. It's a 70 Boss 302. It's a true Boss. Original engine. We picked this one up probably 15 years ago. This was actually my dad's purchase.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then over the years, he doesn't drive as well as he used to, so I kind of inherited this one from him.
So was it in this good a shape?
It was pretty, yeah, we have not done a whole lot to it, little, maintenance and stuff, but I pretty much left this one as is. It's had like a one repaint back in the 70s, maybe early 80s, but it's pretty much just a survivor.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then this one's my 68 GT350 Shelby. It's a true Shelby. This was a restoration project that we did in the shop. When it arrived, it'd come up out of Mississippi, and it was pretty rusty. So we've done a lot of work to it, but it had the original drivetrain, and it's a 4-speed car. So for me, it was, and I'd always wanted a Shelby. Never could quite afford one, but this one was affordable enough for me to get, and then knowing that I had to do a complete restoration on it.
I think you said there's a story with this too.
Yeah, this one was stolen on the way up from Mississippi. They stopped in Atlanta, Georgia, and while the car was out of their sight, somebody stole the trailer and the car.
And it was being delivered to you.
Yeah, it was being brought back up here to Nebraska to let me inspect it before I actually purchased it. But yeah.
So where was it coming from?
Biloxi, Mississippi.
And that's where you
That's where it was located at.
Okay,
And then
hadn't checked it out yet. You wanted
right.
to look at
So
it.
the guy that had located it was bringing it up. He lives in Nebraska as well. But as they went through Atlanta, Georgia, and stopped, the car and trailer were stolen. And so he advertised on Craigslist and Facebook about the stolen Shelby, and it took about a month, and it was recovered.
Pure luck. I can't believe
Yeah, it's amazing. But
Where did they find it at?
it was in a warehouse. A gentleman had answered an ad for a roll-off, which is like a tow truck, and so he went to a warehouse to look at the roll-off and happened to notice the Shelby sitting on, because it was on an open trailer.
And it hadn't been taken apart or
It hadn't
stripped
been
or
stripped down as of yet or
Thank
anything.
goodness, right?
Wow.
And it was like a kind of a shell, like Flintstone mobile.
Yeah,
It kind
the-
of was missing the bottom and
The
was
engine
rough
block
shape.
was actually in the trunk. I mean, it was not a very pretty car, but if somebody knew, the fiberglass and knew what it was, they knew it was a Shelby. So
And apparently I'm going to get it right in this. Well, this is Al's wife, Dee Dee.
Yes.
Okay.
this is one of my probably, I think it's number 3. It's a 65 fastback, 4-speed car that actually, when Dee Dee and I were dating, she drove this through college. So
Lucky girl.
we tend to get them out about once a year and put a few miles on them.
Maybe there's a bird
So
in
where do
here
you
or something.
find all your cars from?
You know, most of them been kind of word of mouth. People know that I like Mustangs, and they'll shoot me a picture, or they'll call me and just say, "Hey,
Behind you.
this saw this Mustang sitting for sale," or something like that.
You know, driving across the country, all the cars we see in the groves and you know, just sitting there rusting, rotting. I'm like, come on, sell them to somebody.
Somebody would like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my cars, as you will be able to see, need restored, but I try to keep them all inside, at least the
Yeah.
weather doesn't get to them as bad that way. And
Yeah.
my hope is someday to be able to do them all, but I don't know if I'll ever get to that stage.
Sure you will. What else you got going, Beck?
So this is a 67 S code, which is another big block 390 car. This was one of the very first. These three are, other than the coupe that I bought my #1 car,
Okay.
these three were the next three that I got back in the 80s. Over here we have a 69. This color is it's called Calypso Coral, and it's a original 69 color. And this is one it wasn't real bad, but we redid it in the shop as well.
Wasn't there another story in here, kind of like the stolen car? They all got stories, but
Every one of these has a story. This one was found in a field as well. And this one, I was kind of out of the Mustangs for a while. We were doing a lot of just body work and paint stuff in the shop. And I had a customer come to me with a 69 Mach 1 wanting us to restore it, and I hadn't done one for quite a while. So I was hesitant about to take that job on, but we did. And that kind of sparked us into getting back into the Mustangs, and this was the one I did right after that car.
So was it your love of Mustangs or your knowledge of refurbishing cars that got you involved with, hooked into all this?
In high school, my intention was to go through trade school to learn how to do auto body and paint. My dad was a car salesman for several years when I was young, but he was a Chevrolet car salesman. So all of my youth, my dad sold Chevrolets. But I had
pretty good one too, wasn't he? Salesman?
Yeah, he was a pretty good salesman.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I had a friend that his father was into Ford Mustangs, Fords, but he would drive these Mustangs to school, and I just thought those were the coolest cars in the world. So that kind of sparked my interest in the Mustangs. And then, so we have a 70 Grabber. Yeah, 67 convertible. This is a 95 Thunderbird Super Coupe. And we ordered this brand new, and it's just never really been on the road a whole lot. So this has original 4,000 miles on it.
What year?
1995.
95 with 4,000 miles. You know, are any of these for sale? In case anybody.
I don't sell any right now, so
You're not one of
I
those.
get too attached to them. So
You're not one of those. Everything's for sale for, for the right price.
not really, not at this point.
Okay, all right, yeah,
I
that's
get
cool.
too attached to them or something. So this car here, I bought it from the original owner, and the paperwork that came with it is from a Vietnam dealership. When he was in Vietnam, he went into a dealership, ordered the car, and then was able to take possession of it when he came back to the States.
Oh, there's a.
And it's kind of a unique story that the
Yeah.
paperwork was from a Vietnam dealership.
You do a lot of the work on these things, but do you have guys helping you?
I do.
Or
I've got
girls?
Mike, my brother-in-law, will help, and then I've got a couple of other guys that will come and help me work on them and stuff. So, you want to go for a ride?
Yeah, let's go.
You want to go in the Boss or the Shelby? You call it. It's up to you.
Make me. Let's do the Shelby. I've never ridden in a Shelby yet.
Which way are you going?
We'll go north.
North?
Oh yeah.
Have fun. Okay, you want-
was awesome, man.
So it kind of worked out better today, anyways, doing it
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
without the rain.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in utilizing Al's services, let me know, and then we'll go from there. Appreciate you guys.
You bet.
Al and Dee Dee.
You bet. Thanks. Nice seeing you again.
Yeah, you too. See you again soon. Okay, guys, this is my aunt and uncle, Jerry and Pat. Jerry's my mom's brother. Thanks. Good to see you guys. It's been a while.
Same here. It was nice to see you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet Lisa. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Finally, I hear a lot about you guys.
Of course, there's Kyle. You guys seen Kyle already. This is Kyle's house. Kyle throws an awesome party. Thanks, Kyle. There's Al again. How's it going? Dee Dee, Becky, thanks so much for letting us plug in at your house and one part. And little Peanut here, Joey. Camry.
Yep.
There's Mike. Thanks, Mike, for letting us plug in.
Anytime.
Of course, there's Lisa. Here's Heather, Kyle's wife. Braden, Every, Jake, Michaela, and
Carrie.
Carrie, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Where'd Corey go?
He just walked away.
I'm gonna go get him.
Yeah. He might be up front.
And this is Corey. You snuck out. You snuck. Mike and Becky's youngest son.
Yep,
Good to meet you.
you too.
I think that's it. Anybody else I miss?